Hey, welcome to the first video on psychology and how to have a scalper's mindset and the way I think about the markets while I'm scalping. And this is something that you can listen to while you're at the gym or in your car or anywhere on your phone, like whatever. Um, this isn't going to be a video with any charts because I really want you guys to listen to what I'm saying when it comes to the psychology of being a scalper. Okay. So when we're scalping, we have to understand that we are taking very quick positions in the market, right? We can't be concerned about missing trades or missing a huge drop or a huge rally, right? We don't think that way. That's not how scalpers think. We don't care to miss those things because some traders, right? Like let's say you have an intraday swing trader or a swing trader, right? Like they're trying to, especially like SMC traders, like they're trying to get 2 pip SLs and run for, like 50, 60, 100R, 200R trades, even 10 to 20R trades, right? But what a lot of people fail to realize is that they're scaling off a lot of their size and a lot of their positions throughout that 20R range, right? Which isn't a true RR, right? If you're scaling off, half your position at 10R and then you're holding the rest for 20R, that's not 20R. It's not a 20R trade. Okay. It might be like a 15R trade. It's not what you think it is. Okay. And most people don't have the balls to hold a trade like that, right? Nobody that I know at least, has held like a 30, 40R trade, full lots, full position, and held it all the way to TP. They're always scaling off some, which is fine. That strategy works for them. But I didn't like the fact that when I was trading this way, right? When I was using, higher time frame POIs and then using lower time frame mitigations inside the POI to get like an insane R trade, right? What would drive me nuts was when I would, I would miss the trade by a pip and then it would run and then I wouldn't know where to get in again because maybe it could come back higher or whatever and stop me out. Or if my POY just for some reason didn't want to hold price and it would stop me out and I waited 4 hours for that POY to trade to, and it was a high probability POY, right? Um, and then even when I did catch those trades, right, like I caught like a huge R trade, like let's say like an 80R trade, I'm scaling off like a majority of my position at like 10R. So, leaving a small runner to run, for Instagram fame or whatever. It's just not ideal for me. It wasn't something that I liked doing. I was very unhappy trading that way. And I had spent a very long time trading that way and just being extremely stressed out and having to hold those trades to TP was just not good for my psychology. And that's just me personally. And if you experience that same sort of pain while you're trading, then maybe that isn't your style either, right? So I spent, several months trying to figure out a scalping strategy where I can get in and out of trades, for 1 to 2 R each trade, but I can take 20 to 30, 40 trades a day, right? And that sounds like over trading to a lot of you, right? But this is a different strategy. It's only over trading when you don't set a certain proper goal for yourself to attain for that day and you are trying to play every single move that isn't valid, right? That to me is over trading, where you're starting to take shitty trades. You're not thinking clearly about what's going on in front of you. You have no direction. You're just playing every single POI possible. You're taking early entries. Or even late entries, right? That to me is over trading. But when you have a sound strategy, 20 to 30 trades a day isn't an issue. And the thing is, right, if I'm playing a trade for 1 to 2 R, even sometimes 1 to 3, 1 to 5s, like those happen sometimes, right? And that's on one trade. And I'm taking 20 to 30 of these a day, and I'm winning around 80% of these trades, right? If you think about the compound effect of that, and let's just say I won 15 trades for the day at an average of 1R or 2R, right? So that's anywhere between 15 and 30R full profit, right? That's full profit that I'm taking. I'm not scaling partials, okay? In some days, it's a lot more than that. Some days I can hit 40R full profits, okay? And I'm trading less time of day, right? I have a certain amount of hours that I can trade at, and then I'm done for the day. I don't need to worry about waiting anymore, okay? For like certain POIs to be met. That's not what the way I scalp is, right? I have my certain criteria that I set for the day, okay? Certain ranges that I'm looking at, and I'm just playing along with price. I'm following price through the whole day, okay? So scalping for me it has made me a lot happier when I'm trading, right? Because I no longer care about missing a huge rally. I know I can get in on some sort of retracement or some sort of POI that was left behind, and I'm not waiting all day for that to be met. I can easily get a trade in the next 3-4 minutes, and then make 2-3R within those 3 minutes, and then get on another trade and make 2-3R on that, right? So for me, scalping has been like just amazing, right? It's been probably the best strategy that I've used, right? And this is entirely my own strategy. A lot of people teach some things similar to this, but most of this has come from when I was trading options and penny stocks, right? There was certain things that I knew about the indexes that a lot of smart money traders don't really pay attention to, and I applied that to my trading, and it's been great. Okay, and there is also something that I want to talk about, which is your trader's intuition. Okay, sometimes I have students ask me like, "How did you even get that entry?" You know, like it didn't even come to the POI. And there's certain times where after seeing the charts for so long, and you're doing this every single day, and you've done this strategy over and over again, and you've back tested it, you develop this intuition. And that's not some type of like woo saw, like, oh, I just know. It's not that. It's just you've seen how markets operate, and sometimes it just won't come to that POI, and it's okay to take an early entry if there is a high probability. Okay, sometimes that just happens where I'm like, you know what, there's a very, very high probability of this trade going in my favor. I'm okay taking an early entry, because I've seen it not hit these sort of POIs because, for example, one of the compression strategies that I show you guys, sometimes that will just get too compressed that it won't come to the POI. It'll be way too compressed, and then there will be a large buyer or seller in that compression that would just run the price up or run the price down. So we just have to understand how markets operate, okay, which obviously I'll be teaching you guys, okay. And dealing with losses, if you know are somebody that can't handle losses, like you have to set there's two goals you have to set, okay, and one is not necessarily a goal, but it's a limit. It's where you're setting a stop loss on your own trading. Okay, so let's say your account is, maybe you have a $2,000, $3,000 account. I don't know what everybody's account size is, obviously, but let's just say that is your account size. Okay, I would set something like, okay, if I lose $300 today, that's it. That's it, and I'm walking away and I'm shutting the computer off, because if you're the type of person to just sit there and look at that chart and then see price run without you, it's going to make you angry. You're going to overtrade. Your psychology is going to be messed up from trying to come back from these trades. Okay, I've had that happen to me, especially under pressure. For example, like with FTMO, like I've had it where I came within $200 of passing FTMO and then blew the entire account. I've had that happen like 2 times, right? Because the anxiety that you get, like, hey, I just want to pass, and that makes you stray away from your strategy, right? So I don't do that anymore. If I'm losing too much money, I just walk away from the charts. And yes, granted, I still have bad days, just like anybody else. Sometimes your psychology is not there, and you just get so out of presence, I would say, right? Where you're just not you at that moment, and you don't even know why you did what you did. You just like, why would I, and you realize later, like, dude, like, why would I do that to myself? Why would I even take that? I wasn't myself at that moment. And it's because you're not thinking clearly, and you have to realize that your state of mind is actually very, 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 very important when it comes to trading, right? And you have to manage that state, right? And as you progress through trading, as you get good, you'll start to recognize, right? And you just have to be aware of that thought that goes into your head of like, oh, I just lost, like I got to get back in a trade, I got to do this. And then you just recognize that thought, like, oh, okay, I recognize that thought. I know that I'm being emotional right now. Even if you say, like, let's say you have that feeling of like, dude, I need to get into a trade, right? Just say to yourself, like, okay, I'm aware right now that I am emotional. And that will just snap you out of it, right? Like you'll just be completely snapped out of it. You're like, oh, wow, I was being emotional. And now I know I'm emotional. So I'm probably just going to not take these next few trades. Okay. And if you have a problem where you need to be on the chart, just walk away for like 30 minutes, clear your head and just walk away. Okay. There's always going to be another day to trade. I know it's fun, and you can make a lot of money, you can miss trades, like whatever. And if you do have that problem, that's like a major problem for you. What I do is I create a fun account, right? So I have an account with maybe a few $100 in there, and I just play on that when I'm feeling antsy or emotional. I'll just go on there to take stupid trades and maybe try to flip an account. Okay, and that will save my other accounts, my larger accounts, for like good trades. So it's a great way to manage your psychology just by doing that, or even just doing it on a demo. Like you can take a demo trade. Me personally, I don't do that, but I have friends that do. When they have lost too much for the day, they'll just go on demo and just start playing around with demo until their psychology is right again. Okay, so it's just self-managing during your trades, making sure that while you're watching the charts, that you're keeping your emotions in check, right? You have to think of it as being a professional. Okay, so like when you're going to trade, like let's say somebody gave you a ton of capital to trade and you're making money for millions of people or whatever. Like let's say you worked for a hedge fund, like you're not going to just be that guy that's on the trading floor or whatever at your desk, like just screaming and shouting, right? Like that's not what a professional does. What a professional does is he looks at his charts, he knows his areas, he knows where he wants to buy, he knows where he wants to sell. If he takes a loss, he takes it like a champ. I took a loss, okay, I was wrong. Let's go on to the next one. And it's not even that you're wrong. It might have been a great trade, it just went wrong. Okay, like nobody can really tell you the outcome of a trade. We just know that where our edge is, right? And if we have an edge and a probability of that edge happening, then we can take that trade. And setting a proper goal. So like, let's say, like, because especially with scalping, right? Like, I've had 5K days, I've had 2K days, 3K days, 1K days, right? If you don't set a goal, you'll just keep going because you're making so much money, and I've had days where I'm up like 5, 6K and then blew it all because I wasn't quote unquote happy with the profits, which is absolutely ridiculous because that's enough, right? I've taken enough out of the markets and I can just be out, so set a proper target. If your goal is to make, $100 in a day or $5,000 in a day, whatever that goal is that you've been able to consistently do, right? Look at your track record after committing to this type of strategy and see how far you're able to take it on a daily basis, right? If you have been able to consistently do 2 to 3K, then just stop at 2 to 3K. Don't try to shoot for the moon and go to 4 to 5K. Okay. So try to understand what your average is, right? And everybody average is different. Somebody can go every single day of the week at $1,000 a day, and that's good for them, right? Versus somebody who tries to go and shoot for the fences and he'll have a 5K day, a 2K day, a 6K day, and then like 3 days of losing, right? It's all dependent upon what you're good at. And if you're good at getting 4K day trades and then you're okay with losing 2K on another day or whatever your case may be, then that's fine. But just set up your goal. My goal, right? Like let's say hypothetically, my goal is say it's 1,500 a day. I hit 1,500, and let's say it's first thing in the morning, I'm done. I'm out. That's first thing in the morning. That's good. Now I can get up and go do something with the rest of my day or my life, right? Work on another business, read a book, watch a show, go for a drive, go to a friend's house, go hang out somewhere, go eat food, go to the gym. There's so much other things that you can do rather than just sitting on the charts, right? Sit on the charts to study. Okay, you can be studying, that's fine, but don't sit on the charts just to trade. Okay, so I hope this helps some of you understand the psychology behind scalping, how we're just in and out of trades, right? We're not trying to catch a full daily range. That's not what we do. We're just in and out. And I promise you, when you see blue in your account, it will make you a lot happier than seeing red, okay? And consistent blue, all right? On to the next video, guys.